What caused the 1518 dancing plague? Unraveling a historical mystery. Have you ever walked through a bustling market square, the air alive with laughter and music, and felt the rhythm of a crowd pull you in? I once stood in the heart of Strasbourg, France, its half-timbered houses glowing under the sun, and imagined a scene from 1518, when this same city was gripped by a mystery as haunting as it was bizarre. In the summer of that year, a woman began dancing in the streets, unable to stop, and soon hundreds joined her, moving day and night until some collapsed, their hearts failing under the relentless beat. Known as the dancing plague, this strange phenomenon swept through Strasbourg, leaving historians and scientists baffled for centuries. Was it a divine curse, a mass delusion, or something darker? This historical mystery, an enigma of European history, echoes the unsolved murders of Jack the Ripper in London history, a true crime of the human spirit. Tonight, we'll step into the cobblestone streets of 1518 Strasbourg, trace the fevered steps of the dancers, and explore an unexplained event that sways at the edge of reason, a puzzle as timeless as the city's ancient cathedral. Our story begins in July 1518 in Strasbourg, a thriving city in the Holy Roman Empire, now part of modern France. It's a time of tension. Europe is on the cusp of the Reformation, and Strasbourg buzzes as a trade hub along the Rhine, its markets filled with merchants, artisans, and pilgrims. On a warm day, a woman named Frau Trophia steps into a narrow street near the cathedral and begins to dance. There's no music, no festival, yet her movements are frantic, her face contorted. Neighbors watch, puzzled, as she dances for hours, then days, unable to stop. Within a week, 34 others join her, their bodies swaying and jerking, and by August, chroniclers like Sebastian Brandt report up to 400 people dancing, some collapsing from exhaustion, a few dying from heart failure or stroke. The dancing plague, as it's later called, becomes a spectacle of horror, a strange phenomenon that grips Strasbourg like a fever, an unexplained event in European history that rivals the true crime mysteries of American history. Strasbourg in 1518 was a city of contrasts, a crossroads of faith and fear. The Catholic Church held sway, but whispers of reform stirred among its 20,000 residents. Famine, plague, and war had scarred the region, leaving people hungry and anxious. Superstition ran deep. Comets were omens, and illnesses were divine punishment. The dancers, mostly women and laborers, moved as if possessed, their steps chaotic yet synchronized, like a grim ballet. Chroniclers noted their agony. Many screamed for release, their feet bloodied, yet they couldn't stop. The city's leaders, baffled, declared it a divine affliction, linked to Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dancers and epileptics. This strange phenomenon, a dance of despair, became a historical mystery akin to Jack the Ripper's terror in London history, an unexplained event that exposed the fragility of a society on edge. To bring this world to life, let's imagine Anna, a fictional baker's daughter in Strasbourg, whose story threads through the dancing plague. Anna, 16, helps her father knead bread in their shop near Frau Trophia Street. She watches, wide-eyed, as Trophia dances, her movements eerie under the July sun. Soon, Anna's neighbor, a weaver named Lise, joins the dancers, her face pale with terror. Anna brings water to the dancers, her heart heavy, and overhears priests debating curses. As the plague spreads, she prays at the cathedral, her hands trembling, fearing she'll dance next. Years later, Anna, now a mother, tells her children of 1518, leaving flowers at a market cross for the dancers, vowing to remember their pain. Anna's tale, though imagined, grounds the dancing plague in the lives of ordinary Strasbourgers, a strange phenomenon that touched a community, much like true crime's grip on London history. The response to the dancing plague was as bewildering as the event itself. Strasbourg's magistrates, led by Bishop Wilhelm von Honstein, consulted physicians and clergy. Early theories blamed hot blood, a humoral imbalance, and prescribed bleeding or rest. When this failed, They leaned on superstition, attributing the dance to Saint Vitus' curse, believing the saint's anger could be appeased. In a bizarre move, the city hired musicians, drummers, and fiddlers to play for the dancers, hoping to dance out the affliction, and built a wooden stage in the grain market. Pilgrims were sent to St. Vitus' shrine in Saverne, 30 miles away, to pray for relief. Yet, the music seemed to worsen the frenzy, and by late August, dozens had died. The city banned dancing, imposing fines, but the plague only faded by September, leaving no clear end. This historical mystery, a true crime of the body, baffled leaders like the unsolved murders of American history, an unexplained event in European history. What caused the dancing plague? The first theory points to mass psychogenic illness or mass hysteria. Historian John Waller argues that extreme stress, famine, disease, and religious fear triggered a collective psychological breakdown. In 1518, Strasbourg faced crop failures and syphilis outbreaks, pushing residents to despair. The dancers, often from marginalized groups, may have entered a dissociative state, their bodies moving involuntarily, a phenomenon seen in later events like the 1962 Tanganyika laughter epidemic. The city's response music, public stages likely amplified the hysteria, drawing more into the dance. This theory, rooted in psychology, aligns with modern views of crowd behavior but struggles to explain the deaths, keeping the dancing plague a historical mystery, like Jack the Ripper's elusive identity in London history. A second theory suggests ergot poisoning, a fungal toxin in rye bread, Strasbourg's staple. Ergot, studied by historian Mary Matashian, contains alkaloids like LSD, causing convulsions, hallucinations, and muscle spasms. In 1518, wet summers fostered ergot growth, and the poor, eating tainted bread, were most affected. Similar outbreaks like the 994 Holy Fire epidemic support this idea. Yet, ergotism typically causes gangrene and burning pain, not coordinated dancing, and no chroniclers noted other symptoms like vomiting. This theory, grounded in toxicology, offers a biological cause but falters on the dancer's behavior, a strange phenomenon in European history akin to true crimes unsolved cases. A third theory explores supernatural or cultural explanations. In 1518, many believed the dance was divine punishment or demonic possession, a view echoed in chronicles by Jean Froissart. Saint Vitus' cult was strong, and his dance was a feared curse. Some scholars, like Robert Bartholomew, suggest a ritualistic trance, rooted in medieval dance traditions like the Feast of Fools, where communal dancing expressed spiritual fervor. The dancers may have been swept into a cultural script, their bodies obeying a collective belief. This theory, while speculative, resonates with Strasbourg's religious fervor, a historical mystery that captivates like Jack the Ripper's debated motives in true crime. The evidence is sparse, preserved in dusty chronicles and city records. Strasbourg's archives, studied by historians like Francis Rapp, describe the dancers' numbers 50 to 400 and deaths, though exact counts vary. Medical texts like Paracelsus' 1530s writings mention chorea or involuntary movement but offer no cause. No physical evidence like ergot-tainted grain survives, and eyewitness accounts like those in the Chronicle of Sebastian Brandt are colored by superstition. Modern studies, like Waller's 2008 book A Time to Dance, A Time to Die, rely on inference, leaving the dancing plague an unexplained event, a void in European history like the Library of Alexandria's Lost Secrets. The dancing plague's legacy endures, a ghostly waltz in Strasbourg's lore. It inspired artworks like Peter Bruegel's 1564 The Dance Mania and novels like The Dancing Plague by Gareth Brooks. Films like Strasbourg 1518 and podcasts like Echoes of 1518 retell its tale. In 2024, X posts linked it to modern dance challenges reflecting its cultural grip. The plague shaped Strasbourg's identity, cementing its mystique much like Jack the Ripper's myth in London history. It also revealed medieval Europe's fears, a historical mystery that resonates in strange phenomena. Let's return to Anna, our baker's daughter, to anchor the tragedy. Decades later, Anna, now elderly, visits the market square, her hands tracing a cross where the stage once stood. She recalls Trofia's wild eyes, Lisa's collapse, and the city's panic. When scholars debate causes, Anna nods but feels the dancer's pain was real, a cry from the heart. She tells her grandchildren of 1518, urging them to honor the lost. Anna's grief, though fictional, ties the dancing plague to human suffering, a strange phenomenon that lingers like true crimes, unsolved murders, an unexplained event in European history. What does the dancing plague teach us? It's more than a historical mystery, it's a mirror of fear, faith, and the human spirit's fragility. Like Jack the Ripper's victims, it's a loss we mourn, a puzzle we chase. The hysteria theory speaks to the mind, ergot to the body, the supernatural to the soul. Each shapes our view of European history, yet the dancers elude us, an unsolved case that challenges us to question, as we do with London history's mysteries, to honor the past. In 2025, as historians probe old texts, we stand with Anna, hearing her dancers. Will we name the cause, or will Strasbourg keep it secret? The answer matters less than the remembering, for in it we honor their steps. The dancing plague, like the Taus hum or Jack the Ripper, is a bridge to the past, uniting us with those who danced under the same stars. Its mystery is a flame we tend, ensuring its rhythm endures. As we close, let's hold the dancers close. Their shadows in Strasbourg's streets, their story living in us. Their neighbors, like Anna, didn't know we'd seek them, but they hoped, trusting time to sing. That hope inspires us to question, to seek, to dream. So, what truths will you chase? What steps will you follow? The dancing plague is silent, but its echo lingers in every mystery we unravel. That day in Strasbourg, when I felt the city's pulse, I was silent. Now, I'd say the point is to keep listening, to keep searching, to keep dancing. The dancing plague is Europe's strangest tale, but its spirit endures. What do you think? What does this dance mean to you? Have you felt the pull of historical mysteries, the urge to uncover strange phenomena in European history? Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us what inspires you, what enigmas you want to explore. If you're captivated by unexplained events and the shadows of Strasbourg, subscribe, hit that bell, and join us for more tales weaving past and present. The dancing plague is ours to carry forward. Thank you for dancing through history with us. Until next time, keep chasing the secrets lost in time.